I have Daniel joining me on this episode to talk about Metera. Now, we've had Daniel on before on this podcast, and he gave us a really cool overview at Rare Bloom last year, Rare Evo now. And I'm so glad to have you back, Daniel, on the episode here to talk a little bit more about the protocol. You've gone through development, you've launched testnet now. So where are we at in the project? I want to learn a little bit more. But Daniel, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, great to see you after seeing you in Denver. Hopefully, we'll see each other this year. And yeah, a lot of things have changed. We've done a lot of development over the platform. We just released a couple of days ago our pre-sale round, and people are buying NFTs right now, helping us fundraise. The first time actually we've ever fundraised to the public. And yeah, you briefly mentioned we have a test net. Just to be clear, this is not a test net. It's actually a demo of how the UX and UI is working. The idea of us fundraising right now with the NFT sale is for us to take this platform, what we built, into a testnet with smart contracts that we've already built alongside M Labs, and we want to deliver on the testnet in the next 3 months.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Now, for those people that don't know about what Metera is and the protocol, can we just get a really quick overview of it, and then we'll get into all the things that you've developed at the moment?
Yes, so Metera is a platform where users can go and invest in tokenized portfolios, which are basically baskets of assets represented in a single token. The idea of doing this is for users to be able to get exposure to a bunch of assets, following different portfolio manager strategies that intend to give exposure to a whole range of assets in the Cardano ecosystem. So in the platform, you can invest in portfolios, or with our Metera token, you can also be your own portfolio manager and create these financial instruments and offer them to the public. Also, lastly, in the platform, we are building a suite of ratings for us to provide information about the assets and the portfolios so people can do their own research. We released a couple of months back an impact measurement system, which is an ESG rating, an open source ESG rating, and we want to keep adding ratings to the platform.
That's really cool because with portfolios and indexes in general, a lot of people, when they're entering a different blockchain ecosystem, they just don't know what to look at. There's thousands of tokens in the Cardano ecosystem at the moment, and if you jump and you go, which project's good? You can look at some of these portfolios that you're building and go, okay, that one looks really good. It aligns with all the ideas and stuff that you like, and this rating system that you're putting in place as well kind of helps educate the users. So I really like that approach. Is there a visual representation of all these different ratings? Are you just doing the ESG one, or are there different ones that you're doing as well?
So we have a visual representation in our platform in the demo right now about the impact measurement system. We do plan on working alongside other ratings in the ecosystem, which there are quite a few, to display their information in our own dashboard. So I think over the next few months, we'll keep integrating also as these companies or rating companies in the ecosystem can provide more APIs for us to integrate and do a visual of their information. We'll try to provide as much different ratings. So yeah, people trying to come into the ecosystem can see a portfolio manager, look at the whole information, their strategy, and invest on what they are investing.
Very cool. And the other thing that you mentioned there was like portfolio managers like myself. I could come up and set up a portfolio of different tokens on the platform itself. Is that correct?
Yes. So right now we have 4 different portfolios with different people. It's just for the demo. The idea is eventually when we launch in mainnet sometime next year is for users that hold our token, enough token and stake that token, will be able to be their own portfolio managers. So they're going to be able to offer a strategy and also be in charge of changing the weights of the portfolio. And they'll be eligible to collect a fee for the assets under management that are invested in that strategy. We have a technical name for portfolios in Metera, which is MTK, similar to in traditional finances, which are called ETFs. We're calling them Metera tokens.
Now, with the launch of the demo that you guys have at the moment, what has the feedback been like at the moment with the community, etc.?
The feedback has been amazing. We see a lot of people interested and definitely looking at indexes as something to invest on. We've received tons of changes to the UX and UI, which we have gone through and are still updating. Also, how the platform works right now and the smart contracts that we have, they require users to deposit all of the tokens at the correct weight to invest on the portfolio. So one of the main things and pain points that our platform has right now is users not to be able to buy in with only ADA. So that's one of the things we're trying to fix with the money we're fundraising. Also, we plan on submitting a couple of proposals for Catalyst Fund 9, Fund 10, sorry, and trying to get money to create a SAP-in feature where you can buy with ADA and swap directly into an MTK.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that because like some of these portfolios, they might have maybe the top 10 Cardano tokens that month. And I would have to buy each one of those tokens at different ratios and work out, do all the math and stuff. But a zap-in feature that put ADA in, it will buy and sell all those tokens for me would be so, so useful.
Yeah.
Have you worked out the mechanics with that? Like, do you have to work with other DEX swaps and something like that to get it all done, or will you be swapping the tokens directly on your own portfolio platform itself?
I think as we grow, we might be able to have a treasury of different assets and do the swap directly. What we're thinking right now is on integrating this feature with different DXs, and we're talking with a couple in the ecosystem and try to get that SAP-in feature. Just to mention that this feature, like we know, there's a lot of slippage and different fees that you pay each time you do a swap on Cardano. This service can get expensive real quick, but we're trying to figure out how to reduce costs over that service, and you'll be able to choose to have all the tokens and deposit them, or to do the swap with the SAP-in feature as well.
All right. Lots of little engineering things that you guys have to work out there. Yeah, especially if you have to do a 10 token swap from ADA to all the 10 tokens
Yeah, I
on
mean,
most dexes that have a.
But if you have a couple of tokens of the MTK, you'll just do 2 or 3, right? If you have other tokens in your portfolio, you can only swap the ones you need to swap.
Now, you have your NFT sale at the moment, and that's to pay for all of this crazy development that you guys have to do. What are the details around it? How much does it cost? How long is the sale for, etc.?
Yeah, so we released a 4 NFT supply a week ago for private investors. This was 13,000 ADA each one of them, and we sold out in 2 days. Starting yesterday, we opened up a pre-sale for our whitelisted members in the Discord server at 130 ADA each one of the NFTs, and we're going into the public tomorrow, June 7th, at 160 ADA each NFT. We have a total supply of 2,000 NFTs, and as of right now, we've sold 500 of them.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's a really good initial sell. So you're halfway through the point. So what's the total amount of funds that you're trying to raise for this part of the development?
So we're trying to raise a total of 120,000 US dollars. That will take us to a fully working testnet in the next 3 months, and we'll be able to open up our own ISPO and start raising more funds for us to be able to take this into a mainnet.
Gotcha. All right. Very cool. And what's the timeline for all this? What's it looking like? The NFT sale is coming out on the 7th, you said, but it sounds like you're going to sell out of that really quickly. And then once you got the funds, what's the next part of the development timeline look like?
So the development timeline is that we're ready to start developing with our partners, and we're going to start developing and deliver on the testnet in 2 or 3 months. So once the testnet is out, one thing we want to do is, before we release an ISPO, we have everyone to have a platform to use and test out what we're trying to build. So once we launch our testnet in the 2 or 3 month time period, we want to launch our own ISPO and keep developing with those funds and trying to launch by next year on first quarter on mainnet.
Very cool. Okay. It is nice to have an MVP of some sorts when you're running an ISPO, so people know what they're giving up their ADA rewards for. So it's quite nice to have that mechanic there and actually play around with the protocol of some sort. Well, it seems like you guys are on track, and you're going to deliver quite a unique thing for the Cardano ecosystem with what you're providing there. Anything else that we need to add on this interview for people to know about?
No, I just invite everyone to go to our website. They can also see the demo for themselves. It's open to the public right now. You're not going to be able to interact with the platform and buy and burn MTKs. That requires an access code that we're still giving out as we test out different API issues we have encountered. But take a look and support us. We're really excited to bring financial instruments like these to the ecosystem.
Brilliant. I'll put links to everything in the show notes for everyone, and also reference that previous interview that we did at Red Bloom last year as well. So, Daniel, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and giving us an update around Metera.
Pete, thank you very much.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debating.